favor.
Yes.
Okay.
Let me tell you what it is. Africa, this is how it is, because this is how we learned from the oppressor. Yeah? That to control people, you use fear.
Yeah, you fear, you threaten. Threats are probably one of the most common things in African homes.
Yeah, but also fear.
But
And it comes from beating people. When you beat people, you instill fear in them.
Yeah.
Of course.
Do you know how many African parents beat their children?
All of them.
Exactly my point. And these people are timid, like you say. They can't look in the face.
Yeah.
Don't look me in the face.
Yeah.
And what's that happening? Like you said, what's happening in the politics? People cannot protest. When you protest against your father, what happens? It's like you're looking at him in the face.
Well, you can't.
You're disowned.
You're disowned. And that's why we have weak young people. They can't say anything against the politics and whatever they're doing, laws they're making. So you see a weak community. They can't change. No change can happen because the leaders are our fathers. And they can't. You can't say no to them.
Yeah.
And that's the problem in Africa.
And another thing I've come to understand is fear encourages lies.
Yeah.
Because when you're afraid of someone, you don't speak the truth.
Yes.
The truth. You always want to lie and keep lying and keep lying and lying because you're afraid. It doesn't make you stand for the right thing.
I don't know if you guys ever experienced this though when you were growing up. If you gave somebody something with your left hand.
Oh yeah!
To this very day,
Let me tell you.
Let me tell you.
The reason why. We can't do that. Let me tell you why.
I can't give with my left hand.
Let me tell you why that's wrong. You know what? I'm left-handed.
I'm left-handed as well.
It doesn't matter.
No, because when I was younger, it was a taboo to be left-handed. Wow, you're left-handed.
Change them. They have to change. Don't force the
They'll
change.
force you to start writing with your right hand.
It's not even okay. If you are, you can't help it, genetics or whatever.
Exactly, my point.
But there are certain things that you can actually
Like
do
what?
with your right hand that you don't necessarily have to do with your left hand.
It's my hand.
Left-handed.
Do you chew with your left side only?
Yeah, please.
Please.
What did you say? I can't write with my right hand. I can't.
Do you chew with your, when you eat your fufu, you want to masticate that thing and make sure
It has to be my left.
I need my left.
Yeah, but does it chew with only the left side?
But where does that come from though? You chew any side you want. It's your teeth.
But if you can control all your mouth, why can't you control what you do with your hand?
Because it's naturally your favorite.
And you should go into the head.
So you have to change it. So basically you have to change your hand to the right.
So you basically have to change your hand to the right hand.
No, like if you are left-handed, yes, you can. In your mind, your nerves can only help you use your left hand to write.
It's what you favor, yeah?
Yeah, but there are certain things you can actually manage to. That's what I'm saying. That's why when it comes to giving adult things with your left hand, it's not because you are left-handed. You have to.
But why is it a bad thing?
Do you
to
know?
With your left hand?
I don't know why, but I was brought up to.
Where does that come from?
So
Where does that come from? That's what I'm trying to say. Because for me, it was a problem. You see what I mean? But yeah.
I got beaten so much.
Mate, I could hide my thing because I had to suck my thumb as well. So it was bad. It was bad. I got a lot of stuff.
There was another one. There's another one I just remembered. You know when two elderly persons are working and then you go past your sensor, the middle.
Slap your head.
I think that's rude. Like,
Sorry?
I think that's rude.
What's rude in that?
Okay,
You're just walking and you need no.
If you move them.
No, you're not moving there, but you just pass by. Like,
that's not rude.
yeah, but you know what? They will actually give you a knock on your head.
There's a Kanye.
Okay, we've been talking about a lot of things. So, specifically, I want us to go deep into greetings. There's a certain way we greet our elders back home in Africa, but now we come to the Western world. We're a bit. And then when we go back to Africa, we are becoming Western now. We'll see an elder like, hi, what? You know? You can imagine. So what do you guys have to say about greetings?
That's the way I believe your value comes in as a person. It's what you know is right. It's right from wrong. Even in this country, that never changed. I know who I say hi to and hello to and who I prostrate to. If, like at work, for example, when you talk, because I have older colleagues and everything, and they call people by their name. There are actually some of them, like from my country, that just the thought of calling them by their name invokes the fear of God in me. I actually go and tap them like auntie, like, cause you're actually not allowed because it's a policy. NHS comes with a lot of policy. I actually go and tap them instead of just calling them by their name the way others do. Because to me, I feel like it's disrespectful. We may be working the same place. There are levels. You get me? The gap is there. Put the respect. So it still comes down to your personal value as an individual.
I have disagreed with that a little bit. Yeah. First to say, I'm an African man, and I understand. But the most important thing is, life is progressive. Culture is progressive, whether we like it or not. So, the fact that before I used to bow my head down to show how great you are, how important you are in my life,
Does not mean I actually
doesn't
respect
change
you.
when I say hello. Do you understand? I don't have to show a form of fear if I want to respect you.
But prostrating is not fear.
Where did you come from?
It comes from your culture. It's deep-rooted
Where,
culture.
that's what I'm saying. What's the history of that culture that led to that activity?
But that's something that's something you
Why
want.
do you bow? That's the first question. Why do you
You
bow for
prostrate.
another human being?
You prostrate.
Yeah.
Prostrating is different to bowing.
What's different?
Bowing is a form of
Prostrating
bowing
means
to
you
something.
use-
It's a form of worship. Prostration is a form of gratitude. When we bow in African culture, you go on one knee. No one says you have to,
One knee. Where do you hear one knee? They bow
One
flat.
need to.
They bow flat.
I don't know where we're bowing.
One knee, the
Yeah,
knee is
yeah,
for the
I think
women.
Yorubas
The
do
knee
that.
is for the
That's when
women.
they're getting married, the traditional rites,
the-
when they're doing the whole
The
introductory
foundation of bowing, or for sure, whatever you call it, is from you bow to kings. Those are the only people you bow to because they're seen as gods back then. So the only way that culture could come into our culture is from a form of oppression. So the only way you can bow to another person to show how great, how honored you are, is because you're trying to instill kind of fear, trying to show that they're bigger than you, better than you. If I respect you so much as a person, I don't have to bow to show that. Do you understand?
And I agree with
I'm an
that.
African, I understand the history,
Yeah.
but it's progressive.
Yeah.
My mom, I don't have to bow to my mom
Yeah.
to show how loving she is, how much I
No, but
respect her.
kneeling down to greet is not bowing.
See where the problem is. The problem is when you're in a scenario, in an environment where you tap someone that's older, and you feel like, wow, she's older than me. That's what the problem is, because you shouldn't feel that way. That wow, she's older than me. I shouldn't tap her
It's a
like
sign
that.
of respect.
Because culture has taught you to feel like that.
Okay, so then if you're saying that, then let's say this. If you saw an older person down the street and they were just talking, and then you go up to them and say, hey, whatever the person's name is,
Mhm.
and you talk to them like you're on that level where you can just call them by the first name, even though they're older than you, would you feel being an
You
African man?
personally, you would
That's
not
what
feel
I'm saying.
right.
I'm saying
You would feel
I'm saying
right.
you can say sir, you can say those things, but it's different when you bow down. That's how I feel. I feel like when you bow down, you're taking it further. You don't know it, but you're making that person feel a certain way.
That's true.
And some people enforce it. That's where the big problem
okay.
is. Because when you draw the lines, when you draw the
people
lines,
can abuse that. There's no
yeah,
doubt
when you
about
draw
it.
the lines,
But I
when
think it's
you have to
down
bow
to-
for everyone that's older than you.
But it's still
and
down
someone-
to your values, regarding what she was saying about your values.
Personal value.
Personal values, Yes, people can abuse. People can be like, oh, yeah, he's bound to me. Look at me. I'm this macho man because she's bound. People take advantage of those kind of things. But I think it's how you were raised, how you were brought up, the knowledge you have of what that means for you, and say, you know what, hey dad, hey mom, hey uncle, hey auntie, whatever the person may be, I want to show that this is my appreciation by prostrating to show that, you know what,
I still do
I
that
look
till
up
now.
to
When
you.
I when I wake
Don't
up in
get
the
me wrong,
morning,
there's
I see my dad.
It's not about trying to move forward, culture being progressive. It's not wrong with just.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. I'm not
Yeah.
saying you don't do it. That's how you're brought up.
Yeah, but I'm seeing
But
what you're
people
saying.
are growing in this generation this
Yeah.
time, and
Yeah.
they don't do it, and it doesn't make them less
Yeah, that's right.
to you that are doing it.
And I agree.
But then people don't agree with that. They're like,
Okay.
oh, they're born in America,
Yeah.
they're not prostrating. But it doesn't
Yeah.
mean they don't respect you. That's what I'm trying to
That's
say.
true. But
I will
we're
bow
talking-
to my mom because
Okay.
that's how I was raised.
That's right.
But then that's not a problem to someone that doesn't bow.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm saying. So culture is progressive. It's
Okay.
because our history is changing every time.
Would you expect your child to bow
I
to
don't
you?
expect it.
No. Okay.
I don't expect it.
But that's down to your. I wouldn't say bow. I'm talking about prostration.
Yeah.
So bowing is different
Yeah,
to me.
it's different. 'Cause
To me,
for
it's
me,
different.
when I wake up in the morning and I see my dad, I'm like, oh, I go on my knee and I greet in my language. It's not like it's a must, but that's how I was trained.
And you expect your child to do that to you as well.
Well, I might not expect my child to do that,
It's
but,
a diff-
but
that's what I'm saying.
there's a certain culture or instinct in my child, and realistically, he would know that okay, this is what I'm supposed to do. This is my
I
mom.
mean, that's why they say teach a child in a way.
You should go. So when he grows
Isn't
up,
that
he
part
will
of it?
depart from
But
it.
what should you depart from? That's not value when it comes to prostrating or bowing down. Because bowing down, that's subjected to change. When you talk about character, you're trying to train them the best way possible. But when you talk about activity that shows respect, when you could show respect in other ways, then that's not like a solid point. Do you get what I'm saying?
Okay.
Okay, take a look at our African parents who came to UK, the way they train their children now. Because I see a lot of British children. Seriously, I want to choke. I was in a friend's house one day. She's about 28 years old, and she told the sister, the younger sister was about 19 or so, and she told the younger sister to go get me some food. She even used the word like, oh please, could you help me get Amber some food? And she was like, oh shut up. To the older sister, I felt like I should give you a slap. No, seriously speaking, I dare not say that to my older brother or my older sister. It's wrong.
Yeah, that is very wrong. I've seen worse. I've seen
mother
and daughter fist fight. I've seen
I've seen it in Nigeria as well.
And these are Africans.
Just to say that, I've seen it in Nigeria as well.
These are Africans.
I've seen that in Nigeria as well.
I've never seen that in Nigeria.
I've seen that in Nigeria. Well, that is not good. And that's character. That's attitude. You should change. You should not raise your child that way.
Yeah.
But also, again, what I want to say is children that are born in this environment, they tend to be different from children that are born in Africa.
Okay.
And simply because many times, there's always, many children in this country, they can't wait to finish university or finish secondary school or college and run away from their parents and go to a far university.
Yeah.
Why is that?
Because they're tired of the rules.
The rules, the culture. That's the truth.
Yeah.
And that's why they don't promote the culture. They're not bothered.
Yeah.
There's a problem there. There's a barrier there between the parents and the children. And now they're trying to suit into this culture. Sorry. But the culture doesn't accept them because they're not white.
Yeah. Not even white. It's just not to do with white. It's a character trait.
Yeah.
Of behavior.
Even those that are born here, that you can say they're proper British, but they're black. Whether you like it or not, you're not totally gonna integrate.
Yeah.
So where is the issue? The issue is they become a yo-yo. They're either here or there.
Yeah.
They're not fitting in African culture. They're not fitting in British culture. And that's where you see the gang life come around, because some people are trying to create a kind of a safe haven for them.
Yeah.
But safe haven without a value, without proper moral system, it leads to a kind of gang life. And that's why you see these children doing all negative things in the society, because they're not fitting in African culture, they're not fitting in the British culture. So we need to talk about that as well. Africans need to know how to understand their children. They weren't raised in your own culture.
Yeah, that's true.
So we need to address that as well.
So we're going to digress to relationship, because I've come to understand that relationship in Africa is quite different from in the Western world. So, at what age in Africa can you have a boyfriend?
Well, I can't say because I wasn't in Africa that long for me to start.
Yeah, let me say something.
But the what's the word? Is it the scripts that we know as kids, like growing up, it's scripted. Kindergarten, primary school, secondary school, senior secondary school, university, youth, NYSC, and married. Wherever that man come from, that's your business.
Don't care.
Get married.
As long as you don't have a baby.
That's the script.
That's a different topic.
Yeah,
anyway.
don't have a baby along with it. True.
Yeah, it's the thing. Like me personally, growing up, like I was raised in an extended family, so. And my mom, the parents were there, but parents were just focused on making sure we have everything. So my nan literally did most of the job that our parents would have to do. And obviously that's why we're talking about something like that with my grandma. Obviously we had sisters, but my sisters were just the fear of my nan knowing that there's a man. Like it's just a no-go area. Like what? Yeah. Is that the school? Yeah. Even when you finish school, they'll say, "Is that the school I sent you to?" Yeah. And you're a graduate. Yeah. What we're talking about again? I'm done. The relationship is just like it's a big deal. But I'm glad now. Actually, I think things are a bit more different now compared to back in the day. Because I think girls are more wiser now and smarter now. And in as much as they want to respect their parents, they also want to live their life to the fullest and get on with life.
Yeah, I agree. But I think things were done secretively as well.
Secretly as well, and that's when babies come in.
And I think secretivity was one of the biggest things I've noticed. Even when I was in Africa, I had a few friends who maybe were having girlfriends, or they were just doing things they shouldn't have been doing. It was always done in secret, and it's something where I feel that in Africa, young boys, young girls are aware sexually from a very young age. You might look at a girl who's 10 and think she doesn't know anything about. Trust me. They're aware from a very young age.
I do, definitely. I'm not even going to lie.
Yeah, so they're very aware from a very young age.
I wasn't aware at that age, sorry.
Stop lying.
No, I'm not lying. I wasn't aware. No, I wasn't aware.
I'm not even going to lie. That's not
Thank you.
to lie.
In Africa,
I wasn't aware.
They're very aware from a very, very young age. Aware of women's physiques, a man's physiques, a man's anatomy, stuff like that. They're very aware from a very young age. And I feel like that awareness, apart from here, they have sex education, they have all these kind of things. Those countries are not had in Africa because
Street
they think, you have street education because they think you're not meant to know about these things, or there's no way you would ever.
The closest you even get to that topic is home economics, human anatomy. That's the closest you get.
But the plants and biology as well.
And
biology.
the woman body
Biology.
reproductive, no, integrated science.
Integrated science.
Yeah, that's the closest you get
Okay.
to sex education.
Let me just say something. I think, like you said, it's from primary school, secondary school.
It's a script, love. It's a script.
Yeah. But then, marriage is mainly for the average family and the elite. The people that don't have enough, they actually don't get married. They get the woman pregnant and they get married. I don't know if you think about this. Think about it very well. Like, marriage is for people that are well-to-do. Most times you impregnate a girl, then you have to marry her. This is general.
But that's the choice.
No, it's not a choice. It happens. Like, because sexual, sexual activities is mostly behind closed doors in Africa.
So
Nobody talks about
are
it.
you saying that we have more single women?
They're not single.
Single mothers in Africa than
No, they're not single. The men take responsibility. Because when you run away, they look for you and they force you. There's something like that. But most of these things happens like when you get someone pregnant, you marry them, and there's like an enforcement from the culture that forces you to marry them. But it's not always marriage that lead that they marry and get children. It's only the elite, people that have money, people that have, that's
I think that's quite a broad thing to
social.
say though, because I think a lot of people get married because yes, they want to have some of the wives go a baby or whatever. But I think people still get married.
No,
Doesn't
people
have to
get
be-
married. People get married, don't get me wrong. But in traditional sense, the baby is what unite. Like Yoruba proverb will say.
Yeah.
It's like anyone that has child for you, it's already your wife or your husband.
Yeah.
So because we don't really have the baby mama in our dictionary back home.
Yeah,
It's
back
in
home.
England. And
Yeah.
they have
They
it.
don't believe in baby mama.
Yeah, they don't believe baby mamas. Yeah.
So I think I'm not sure about this. I think my mom and my dad, I think they had me before they got married.
Be very careful.
Yeah, I'm saying that. so I think if you trace it back, I'm not saying everybody, but many times that's what unites you. That child is that's it. That's the union.
But how about like for my instance now? Let's say my father was American, so my mom had a baby with him, and I ran away.
Yeah, it happens a lot. Have you watched movies on that? It happens a lot.
But his culture is also really Nigerian,
Yeah.
so he chose.
Yeah,
his
he
choice
chose. Yeah.
not
He went to America. Trust me, I'm not sure how hard this is. How true this can be. If he was in Nigeria, they would try and look for him.
Well,
Yeah.
They would
That's
find-
true.
they would try and
The
look for him.
the family.
And I think
And
that's
trusting
what
in
you're
people.
saying. When there's children in there, I think that always obviously my parents, minus me because obviously I wasn't born there, but my older brother was born when my parents were married, but just like the normal registry.
okay.
My parents did the whole shebang in 2012, and then my younger brother was doing the math, so he was born 99, and my parents did the whole big party thing in 2002. Sorry,
Yeah.
that was after all of us were born.
Yeah.
He left the country, but he came back when he felt like he was financially ready. He did it the right way after all children were born. So it's either the children will bring you together or you disappear and do the. I don't know what kind of move I'll call it. You get me,
Irresponsible
but
behavior.
you always the children can always bring you back together, or you just decided to be a douchebag and you ain't about that life.
Okay, let's come to sex now. Back home in Africa, sex was something that you dread so much. Like it was
When you mean sex, the topic or the activity?
the activity.
I don't know. People didn't dread that. Long.
I
No.
don't know about
Wait,
you.
no. Sex was something that was sacred
Well,
in Africa.
back in the days, kind of, yeah.
Because you're aware of the
Repercussions.
repercussions, the scandal, the consequences that comes
They
with
touch
it.
you, get pregnant.
Exactly.
That was
In
so
fact,
messed
I remember at 13.
Yeah.
I remember at 13 when I started seeing my period. My mom was like, "If you meet any man now, you're gonna get pregnant." I was like, I know she was exaggerating it by that time, but she's just trying to.
Invoking
Do you understand?
that
And I had that fear in me, like, oh no, if I go close to a man, I'm gonna take it.
Really,
Do you get? But it was sacred. It was serious because of the environment. We have strict parents. In fact, and do you know that in Africa, you are not the only one who has a child. Like
you're raised by
everybody,
community.
everybody has
that
a child.
Say I was raised by
even
community.
even let's say I remember sometimes my neighbor kids will do something wrong. my parents will be the one disciplining.
You get me? Like
Discipline the
you're
child.
raised by
And I'm like,
community.
Dad, that's not your child though. But you know, the environment kind of like feel responsible for your okay. So if you get pregnant, you're like, oh, you're not only worried about your parents now. You're not only worried about your siblings now. The whole and the news will fly like.
And it was school as well, because also when you're in school, you used to get beat by the teachers. Sometimes the teacher would have a bad day, just beat you for the phone. You know what I mean? That's a good story. You know what I mean? But it was one of those, the teacher will beat you and say, you have so much potential. I must beat that of you. You know what I mean?
Oh, you're not using it
You're
right.
using it right, you know what I mean?
So it was really, really a sacred thing in
The
in
sex
Africa.
was for marriage, not for you, young.
But now
Sex
we,
for
but
marriage.
now we come to the Western world. Is like, in fact, that's where I heard the word "friends with benefit." Like, where is that
That's
coming
new.
from?
But I think all these things was happening before. I mean, the Bible says there's nothing new under the sun. Things that just go around in circle. You know, just be. But it's not public now. That's what I'm saying.
What I'm saying is, then we had strict values, culture that was keeping us.
No, we had fear. Because as you said, you were told, if you touch somebody, you're going to get.
That's what we used to control our siblings. Fear.
If I touch, oh my God, she's pregnant. You know what I mean? That's fear.
Everything has advantage and disadvantage.
That's true. There's an advantage to that.
I feel like fear doesn't have
It does.
I think empowerment and teaching is the advantage.
Well, it's not a choice. You can
fear
something.
Do you fear God?
Of course I fear God. But you still choose.
You're not meant to fear God. You
You're
can't
meant
fear
to
what you
reverence
love.
Him.
You can't fear what loves you.
No,
You're meant to reverence God, not fear God.
Not fear Him in the sense of that you're afraid of God.
But then you have to explain that fear. Why are you explaining that fear?
Exactly.
Why can't you just say reverend? When you have to explain a fear, when you fear something.
Not fear in that sense of where I'm afraid of
There's
Him.
no definition
Fear
of fear.
is
Fear
fear is respect.
That's what I'm saying.
cannot be
You can't-
respect.
No,
okay,
no,
for instance,
no,
when I
no.
say I fear God, if I say I fear God,
Yeah.
not fear of man, but I
Yeah.
fear God,
Yeah.
because I'm saying I fear if I was to offend Him. God is a God of love, and we all know that.
Mhm.
We're also a God of wrath. And we're also going to know that.
Yeah.
So if we're living by, just by, I love God. It's Bible talks about you should. So a man should figure out his salvation with fear and trembling.
Yes.
That's scripture.
Yeah.
Does not mean fear Him and like, oh my God.
What I'm saying is,
it's a form of respect.
why do you say you reverend God? Why must you put the word fear? Because there's only one definition.
You got to take that with the author of the Bible.
That's what I'm saying. That's interpretation, isn't it? That's another story.
Yeah, that's another story.
Alright, here in the Western world, people now believe in friends with benefit. A girl can tell a guy, you know what, I don't want a relationship with you, I just want you to service me so hard. I'm like,
Service you
Service. MOT.
no, but seriously, and I'm like, they don't see it sacred anymore, and that's the reason why we have so many single mothers out there, because
And it makes the people who are actually trying to live a honest life or trying not to have sex with or have this benefits behavior a minority. If you think about it, the Tinder thing is big. Everyone knows what Tinder is about. You know, you go on this app and you swipe, and people have abbreviations if they're into it or they're not. You always have a kind of behavior. Now in the community, because you were saying before, it's more public now. You know, so things that were happening already, but now it's just a lot more open. People just say, I can talk about that. Yeah, I can just say I want to have sex with this man and not have any strings attached. You know, and if anything happened after that, we're going to handle it.
Consequences.
Yeah, we're going to handle it when it happens.
we shouldn't come to the Western world and and now
Imitate,
because sometimes I even see some Nigerians say, friends with benefit. Of course, it's just cool. I'm like, what?
I think it's just public now. I think every.
And I think the fact that it's public because the world is a global reach now. It's in Africa now.
Yeah,
it's in Africa
everywhere
now.
now.
And the thing is, we go to Africa and then we now inculcate this.
Exactly, that's what we do. Pass the negativity.
Yeah.
Along as the positive. So I want to be rectify the problem as young people.
I think we just got to, as you said, educate your young people now about this cultures, which they're probably exposed to in schools. They would see it. You know, a lot of kids are very aware from a young age. You know, I was aware from a very young age. That was then. Even now you get 2-year-old that can operate iPad. At 2, we were playing Lego. I was playing Connect 4. And they were struggling with that mentally. I was struggling with Connect 4. I couldn't do it. I start crying. These kids are playing iPad. They can type in CBBCs on the iPad, but they can't even spell their name. So they're open to a lot of new things that we need to say, you know what, before it gets to the point where they're learning from the streets,
you should be the first person.
Let's start implementing, you know what, child, this is what happens when a man and woman, this is how you came about, you know, stuff about like, you know, tender subjects that you don't want people outside teaching your kids, because then they might not come from the same culture as you, and the kid will learn in such a derogative way that you be thinking like, yeah, Sister Julia at school said that just put this in here and then.
Chromosomes and the
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
And the Bible says man made man from Adam and Eve, but
Or other things.
But they have
You know what I mean? So it's
whatever.
important to start from home, and get your kids educated in the knowledge that they need, because only you can teach them that.
So that when they have challenges, they can come to you.
That's right.
Yeah, and not be scared to come to me.
And that should be the
That's
African
if
way.
you have parents who are also educated and not very old school. If they're old
Yeah.
kind of parents that really believe in tradition, that kid's just messed
If the
up.
parents were born here, most of the time, the parents were born here, they were raised here, so they don't really have that African tradition. It's only granddad back in Africa. Hey, you're wearing the short on t-shirt. Are you mechanic? You know what I mean? Like I had that when I was to Africa. I was hot. I wear my vest and my shorts. I got obliterated. Who do you think you are? You mechanic? Eh? You're gonna have a short on t-shirt. You know what I mean? That kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But it's like it's it's that kind of mentality.
It's a
that goes
messed
on.
up mentality.
Yeah.
Okay, guys. The last one I want us to deliberate on about African culture is how education. Back home, you see, let's say if my dad was a doctor and my mum was a lawyer, you get my parents telling me you have to be a doctor, you have to be a lawyer, and maybe that wasn't even your calling. Maybe you want to be a musician.
A painter.
Yeah, but they want you to. For me, I think most
chef.
times Africans, they study for their parents.
Yeah.
They don't
I agree.
study for themselves.
I agree, 100%.
Why is that?
I don't know, man.
One of the reasons is the money. They pay your school fees. So you have to deliver. I'm not
That's
saying
true.
that's right.
No, but that's
Yeah.
trust me. I know what you're saying, because when I was in Africa, I went to King's College.
Yeah.
Was meant to be some.
Secondary school, yeah?
Yeah. It's meant to be like.
I know this school.
When you go in there,
Yeah, one of the top schools.
yeah, but it's garbage. When you
It's
get in there,
garbage.
it's garbage.
You're saying that because obviously.
I can say that now,
Yeah.
but back then I couldn't. But it's garbage. It's literally garbage. Teachers were mediocre. They just supposed to beat you all day. That was it. you come out with bruises and everything. And you don't beat your kids. Teachers goes to work. I'm gonna beat as many kids as I can. You know what I mean? But I think.
So yes, I think the point of Africans' parents own you. They feel like they own you,
Yeah,
and that needs to be told.
Or you don't have a voice.
Where they
right
actually
now.
own you though.
They do not.
They don't
brought you
own
into
you.
this
People-
world.
That's not ownership.
There's no ownership. That's not even
That's where
ownership.
the problem
God
is.
owns you. They don't own you.
Yeah,
They're just obviously paying. taking care
Just
of you while
doing
you're
the
here.
job,
Yeah.
They're like
doing the
caretakers.
job,
Yeah, exactly.
But
So
the
you
thing
have
is
to be
about they don't want you to bring shame back to the family.
But,
Yeah.
but doing something that's different, I don't understand why that would be. Even for me, as you said about being going to school and then you're doing a course because your family are the old doctors and the old
Yeah.
lawyers
Yeah.
and the old
Yeah.
architects, and you feel you've got to do something that on the same level. Now my mother was an accountant. A few of my other cousins, the IT, all the stuff. Me, I'm a sports graduate. When I went back to Africa in 2003. I'll tell you, I went in 2003 and I told my uncle I was playing basketball at the time. My uncle was like, "You're playing basketball?"
They don't understand it.
Yeah, they actually feel that if you're not a doctor, if you're not a lawyer, if
You're
you're
not
not an
successful.
Well, it's
accountant,
changing
you
now.
cannot be successful.
It's
It's
changing now
changing now.
because football's got money. And
It's got money.
Every African man is taking the children to
The
school.
football
now.
classes, yeah.
No, but
Yeah.
can you allow your child to be a musician, or can you allow your child to be an actress,
Yeah,
or
yeah.
an actor? They feel you're not gonna succeed in that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Wizkid is doing great, ain't he?
Yeah. So
This
people are
kid is
changing their mind.
auto-tune. Auto-tune,
I think civilization,
Okay.
education is changing their mind. But yes, the problem is the entertainment industry in Nigeria, the sports industry, it's not really structured. So you don't still want to allow. That's one of the reasons why they don't want their children to know that. When it comes to
They
accounting,
just want
you can
something
find
they know that
accountants.
they're guaranteed that
Yeah.
they're successful.
Yeah.
And
They
they want
have
some-
some.
But
Like,
life is
if
a
you decide to
reasonable.
go to music, it doesn't work. You need something to fall back on. You always need that
Yeah.
backup. Like
Yeah.
that's something. That foundation has to be
Yeah.
there. So
Certainty, yeah.
yeah.
And it's that old school mentality of the old, I don't know us, but the old schools, the old Africans who probably are like, they want them to tell their friends about, oh, my son's a
Boast.
doctor.
They want to boast.
Yeah.
It's just the element to say that
Yeah.
alone.
Yeah.
Respect.
PhD,
My
yeah.
son's a doctor.
They rather have
PhD
their
holder.
picture
Yeah.
frame on the
Yeah.
on the TV.
He's away at the moment.
Yes.
That's his picture right there. He's away.
Yeah.
I That's his picture right there, you know. So
And the other side of that is that they don't want to have to take care of you all their lives. They
no,
want to get out.
No.
They need to get out.
Like, yeah,
And be able to take care of them when they're old.
No, it's funny
Yeah.
that back home, actually, people actually live longer in their parents' house than they do when they come abroad. I don't know if it's just me.
Sorry?
Like, I mean, like,
Yeah,
you
sure.
could see people in their 30s still living with their parents.
Yeah.
They don't really want to
Men,
get rid
especially
of
men, you know.
Obviously.
But here, once you're 18, 19, they send you out.
Yeah, I
that's
mean,
the Western.
so they
16
don't
even.
just do
Yeah,
just want to
16.
get rid of you. If anything, it's just that they want to be proud and they feel like there's a competition.
And also for the ladies, if you're not married, you can't leave your parents' house
Yeah.
in Africa.
Yeah, you come.
Like-
where you going?
Yeah, where you going? You have to still be there.
Come
And imagine back in the days, apparently my mom once said, oh, back in days, how you know how the fathers marry more than one wife. The parents, the dad spend more on the male because they knew the women education will end up in the kitchen.
Yeah,
and
she's.
and
They
how,
don't take them-
No,
Yeah, it
I don't
happened.
agree with that.
I don't
That's
agree
true.
yeah,
with
but
that.
they did that. They did that a lot
That's
back in
true.
days. My mom
And I
said
think
that.
I think they did that back in the
Like,
day.
my mom's siblings, the boys, they have up to the top education. As for the women, they manage to tell them, okay, finish secondary school because you're going to put my
Yeah.
money in the kitchen. So
And
once they
And that's
can-
what I knew.
But you
back
understand
then.
the reaction though.
Yeah, it's true.
That's the way women were viewed back
That's
then.
right, back
But
then.
now it's changing.
It's
isn't it?
changing, but then I do understand that even back in as well. Like when you watch these African movies, the guys will be like, "Oh, we're having a baby. Is it a boy? Is it a boy? It's a girl." And they go like that because they want to have that element
that
of like,
name
yeah,
has to carry on.
they're like, "I must have a boy. I must have a boy." And they're going to see the African doctor. Man, she's always having women. I don't understand. I need a boy.
Yeah, if you don't have a boy, they will even take another wife.
That's what
Yeah,
I'm saying.
or apparently there are some even
was that
religions
guy?
that if they have girls in the hospital, they will even either get rid of that baby or kill the baby or let it go. And there was this documentary I was watching a few weeks ago on TV. I don't know what country it is. The women are meant to be more educated than the men so they can take care of their husband. The men just stay home. The men will go to school but learn only about their culture while the women has to have the highest education. Because
Wow.
yeah, it was a documentary on BBC 2 weeks ago. I'm trying to remember the country. So that in Israel, some country, I'm like, this is disgusting. And
Let's ask a question. Is that a bad thing? Let's ask a question. Just that's the
What,
question.
for what? For
It's a
what?
question.
that the
Is it-
men should only
that the man should
focus on the
sit back at
culture.
home
Yeah.
and the women to go.
We're
to
gonna
work.
get some messages.
Question.
now.
I'm saying the question. I never said it's right.
Okay.
Wrong. Listen to me. I said, is it a bad or good thing? What makes a man and what makes a woman a woman? Is it the roles, or what defines a man, or what defines a woman?
Man is a
A man. That's a biblical thing. So people,
That's the
Okay.
question.
yeah,
Isn't
we see
it?
that different. So
It's okay to play your role as a man and as the woman. You should. I wouldn't want to say 50-50. Let's bridge the gap. Let's not put space. Like you
Exactly.
provide as a man, the woman will also come at some point. Don't just
But
necessarily.
don't forget, the way God has created the woman, we're meant to nurture, not the man.
Miles Monroe, yeah.
So we are the one carrying the babies. Realistically, the woman should be at home and then taking care of the babies. Don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that the woman should not work. Of course you have to work.
Yeah.
If it's possible for the woman to get out there and also work, go for it.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah,
man
yeah.
completely staying home, let the woman achieve all the highest qualification, then take care of the
It's
family.
wrong.
Okay,
Hey.
but
He's selling his birthright.
That's a big
He's
word.
selling his
That's a big word.
birthright.
In my opinion,
Yeah, please.
I would say that for me, if I was to be with a woman getting married with her, I wouldn't mind if she wanted to stay at home and wanted to work. Either way. I think it does come a time where you might need some help regarding money situations.
Yeah.
Where she might need to say, you know what, okay, babe, I'm going to go get another job to support because we need to pay this, pay that, pay this.
Yeah.
But I think ideally when she has a child, for me, in my opinion, I feel the man has to now say, you know what, while you are nurturing this child for the 6 months, 5 months, whatever, and if you feel you can't work during this time, then I will obviously
Work.
yeah, but if there's circumstances, the woman in that culture where she has to go out and work, it could be because maybe the men in their culture are meant to be one staying at home.
That's what I'm trying to say. Culture.
He doesn't say, yeah, he
I
doesn't
know,
seem
but
right
it
to
ought not
us.
to be that way.
He doesn't
though.
seem
we
right.
can't
He
say
doesn't
something
seem
The
that's
man, no, the man cannot breastfeed a child.
No, but
Let's
hold
say
on. What
after
I'm
that
saying
stage,
is,
after that stage of-
yeah, it could be, but we don't know the full
full
story. But it could be that when somebody is in that situation,
Yeah.
you know what I mean, they could be like, okay, the man's going to be this woman. I don't know. I don't know, but you know, like even with like seahorses, like the men is the one that carry the male is the one that carries the baby. That's the seahorse is what they're called. But I think that at this point you're gonna think about what that culture is about, what the dynamics is, you know, for that culture, why they're actually saying that. But for us, for me, it doesn't
I love
stand
my
right.
African culture. I'm not gonna let the woman be the head of the house. Bro, I'm a woman rapper. That's what they'll say.
say? Like, what? You think I can't do anything?
It's our culture, yeah.
It's their culture. It doesn't sit right with me
Well, we
either.
can't
Because
change
it's
their
I feel
culture.
like it's just wrong.
I doesn't make them wrong. See what
No,
I
yeah,
say.
definitely because that's their
Their
culture.
culture, exactly.
So
What I would say is culture is different for different people. But
That's
here's
right.
the thing: there was a time where slavery was right. That was a culture.
it was never right.
It was no,
It was
no.
accepted.
It was accepted in
Okay.
law. So to the general
Yeah.
thing, it was right.
Yeah.
That was the culture. Slavery
Yeah.
was a culture
Yeah.
of people.
Yeah.
Then it got changed, and now it's not right anymore.
Mhm.
Do you get? So it's a culture of people, and it changed. It's progressive.
Mhm.
So if they allow women to go out and work, that's their culture.
And
And maybe in the future they will change. You never know. Nigerian culture, women might be the one working. I'm just saying.
Sorry.
I'm just saying.
Never gonna work.
I mean, there's so many
never happening.
Nigerian women today want to be Miss Independent. So yeah,
Exactly.
it will happen.
You'll be
like,
surprised. Okay, who are the Africans? Who are the most hardworking people? Women or men in this country?
Women.
Women,
I
exactly.
say women.
That's the culture. It's changing. Things are changing.
It's evolving.
So you never know.
But to me, men are selling their birthright.
Exactly. But that's how it happened.
I
In that culture, men sold their birthright.
I
That's what
just, there are some of the women that actually thought this was wrong and they decided to leave the
Stay,
marriage.
yes,
The
yeah.
men kept the children and the women had to leave and start their own life because the husband keeps the children. And if they try to fight, the community would not let it because that's what they
opposite
believe.
UK.
Yeah, it's opposite in
I was
UK.
like,
Yeah.
the women were
In
about
Africa,
like 10
it's that
of
way.
them.
Yeah, that's
They
true. In
created like
Africa, the men
institute
take
for
the
these women
children.
to actually
and not the
fight
women.
that
Yeah,
thing going on in the community
Very,
because the
very
men.
true.
There's a particular
They
one who
marry
has
another
not seen her
Yeah,
children
they
in
marry
8
another
years
woman.
Yeah.
because the husband took the children when she said, no way, I can't be the head of the house. 8 good years she hasn't seen her kids because the husband kept the kids when she decided to fall back. Like, she
That's
was not gonna
that's
leave them
definitely in
alone.
Africa.
As I said, if you forget tradition, forget culture, forget religion, you look at the physical dynamics of a man and a woman. Men are naturally stronger anyway,
Yeah.
from the get-go.
You think?
Yes.
Yes.
It's not you think.
No, men are strong.
Strong from the get-go. All right.
Our African culture is important, just as the Western culture is important. So if you're Africans out there, I encourage you guys to embrace your African culture and do not forget it. Even if you're now in the Western world, be proud of where you're from. Be proud of your African culture, and don't try to become what you're not, because that makes you unique. Don't try to be someone else. Every other person has been taken.